George Kilpatrick, Inspiration for the Nation. So on the fifth day of Kwanzaa, we celebrate the principle of Nia. Nia stands for purpose, to make our collective vocation the building and developing of our community in order to restore our people to their traditional greatness. So we continue our conversation with community members. Monique Wright-Williams joins us now to talk about Nia and what Nia means to her and how she's going to use that principle in her life in 2021. Hey, Mo, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Mo, as I know her as for many, many years. So talk to me about what Nia means to you.
So, Nia being purpose means to me finding a way to define how you will use yourself, your skills, and your talents to make positive impacts and changes in the community. Like, why are you here?
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to make the best out of the reason that you're here? And
Mm-hmm.
how are you going to do that through service?
Yeah. So I know service is something that's always been a part of who you are.
Yeah.
And whether it's making a splash or not making a splash, you're just one of those people that that I see as somebody always trying to give and help out and support. Why has that been so important to you?
I think we have a responsibility not only to those who came before us to live out their legacies, but to also those who are coming after us.
Mm-hmm.
And so the best and the easiest way to do that is to be of service, is to use what God has given you um, for the greater good, not just, it's not about the American capitalism way where you take your skills and you collect and gather as much as you can. This is not a game of Monopoly. So it's really about how do you then find value for yourself in your life's role in the community, in your family. It doesn't have to be as broad as, the nation or the city or the county. But even in your small community down to just in your family, what are you doing in your family to extend yourself such that you can be of use to them and to help them become better at who they are and what they do. And I think, and I know Oprah said it once, everyone always talks about, hey, how do you find my purpose? What's my purpose? I don't know what that is. But Oprah said, if you would say, follow your passion,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll lead you to your purpose. And so for me, I've always been passionate about children and about doing. There's something that's in me that says service is important and it's fulfilling. It's really, I get more out of what I do than I'm sure those who I'm doing it for get out of it. So it's just, it's just a way of life. And it's always been a positive, um, it's always been a positive in my life. I've never done something in service and afterwards felt like, oh man, why did I do that?
So in 2020, obviously a tough year for
Mm.
many reasons, obviously with the COVID and everything. How has that impacted your definition of near purpose in terms of how you have seen yourself in this role?
Right. It's been twofold. On the one hand, it's been a detriment because my service that I'm most proud of and that I've done for the longest is taking kids on the HBCU college tour.
Mm-hmm.
And because of the pandemic, I had to cancel this year, which would have been my 20th, huh?
I was going to ask
2020,
that.
them
Yeah.
20s are getting us. It would have been my
Right.
20th year taking students down the East Coast. So it's hurt in that regard, but it hasn't hindered me from being able to still be of assistance to those students. So instead of taking them on college tours, I found ways. There's a lot of virtual HBCU informationals. I've shared that with the students, help them with financial aid, completing the FAFSA, reminding them they have to do that, reminding them about the SATs. So, it made me think about other aspects of the college experience that maybe they weren't getting as much support and assistance in. But for me, taking them and having them have an experience, because you can't take experiences with people.
Right.
You can take their stuff, but you can't take what they've lived.
Mm-hmm.
And so being able to give them that experience, I think is just priceless. So So it's it's been a little depressing having to have skipped, which was going to be a pretty big tour this year because it was the 20th. So having to skip that was a little painful, but then finding other ways, identifying other needs and shortcomings that students specifically may have, that's been great. And then we've done a lot of, at least I've with the people that I'm around, we've done a lot of gatherings of food and clothing items and coats and those kinds of things, because the pandemic will remind you that you are fortunate. If you
Blessed,
are
right?
fortunate, it'll
Privileged.
also remind you that you're not.
Right, right,
you
right.
know, so making sure that people have what they need. Many of us have a surplus. Do I need 10 coats?
Mm-hmm,
I
mm-hmm.
don't need 10 coats. So how can I give 2 or 3 of them to someone who may be a little extra cold and can't buy one? Yes. So it just really helped me think about um, the important stuff. Like, what's really important? Is it all the things are running around? Is that important? No, those things aren't important. So just sitting down, being still, being quiet, being forced to think about and look at life from your perspective and from the perspective of those around you, it's been a blessing. It's been a blessing as much as it's been a curse.
For 2021, how will you live this principle of Kwanzaa Nia purpose in your life on a daily basis?
Well, following my passion, I'm not short on following my passion. So following my passion is a staple for me. It's something I always do. But for 2021, I've actually made a specific commitment to Vera House
Hmm.
of all the places. And I'm going to be able to live out a lot of, I think, my purpose, giving my skills, my talent, and my perspective in an environment where people so often are overlooked, um, and clearly aren't getting the treatment that they deserve. I'm talking about those who may be victims of sexual or domestic violence.
Mm-hmm.
So being able to take what I have, even if it's just my perspective of being a survivor, and taking that and lending that to those who are making decisions around people's lives who've been impacted or who are being impacted and affected by any type of violence. I think that's going to be my big 2021 commitment. My purpose in 2021, I think, is to root and ground myself a little deeper in that, and then to finish this darn book on sexual assault. So
You writing a book?
I am. Yeah, so I need to finish that. So
Well,
I need
let's
to
just
finish
claim
that.
that right now.
Yeah,
By
yes.
December 21st, or by December
December
31st,
21st.
we'll put it at the end of the year. By December
Okay.
31st, 2021, this book
It
is
will be
finished. We
it will be
declare it
finished.
and we decree it.
You know how perfect that is? One of the things about Nia is you have to share and discuss your intentions with your family and your friends. When you share something, there's a little bit more pressure to make sure you do it.
Yes.
So we walked right into that. See,
Yes, we
things
did.
work the way they're supposed to.
Well, Monique Wright-Williams, thank you for sharing your perspective on purpose and your passion for the young people in our community. Inspiration for the nation.
Thank you.